What, you want to talk? Sure. I didn't even know trending. Damn.
Guys, I'm gonna do this while we're figuring our lives out. I need to figure out how to change the background on this. I really want to do that.
I'm holding my feet.
Do it. I believe in you.
You like that?
For stop video, go to choose virtual background.
Oh, what?
Bottom
I don't
left,
have enough.
mute in video.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you hit that up button and then choose virtual.
What are you gonna change it to?
Wait, I
Porn?
didn't see it.
Just do it to Toby Maguire crying.
Hello, and welcome to we have no name for it. Podcast Boiz. I don't know.
That's good. I like that already.
Podcast Boiz.
Podcast Boiz.
Keep it.
Just keep it. All right, cool. I guess we'll just start off with like introducing ourselves. I don't know. Hi, my name's Angela. How you doing? Hi.
Hi, Angela.
Are we doing the age thing? We're trying.
Yeah.
Josh said he wanted to say our ages because he wanted to cross off nostalgia.
I'm nervous that we're gonna have a Toby Maguire fan in here, and the younger audience member might not understand why someone could be a Toby Maguire fan.
What's a Toby Maguire?
We can talk about that later. But I am 26 years old.
26.
Hi, I'm Rob. I am 27 years old. That was not exciting. I'm sorry.
You're old.
Fuck you. That's it. I'm Rob. 27.
That's it.
Sad.
Okay.
Say my name, but they can see it.
Can they though?
Hey.
What if someone's blind?
My name is Jay Jerome, and I am the oldest in this because I'm a fucking man. And my dad decided to have sex with my mom before yours did. Okay? And I'm 28. I think Andrew Garfield is amazing. Just fantastic. And I actually started a GoFundMe and a petition to get him in the next Spider-Man movie.
Choose Spider-Verse, yeah. That'd be cool as fuck.
Oh, weren't they talking about that too? Like they wanted to like bring in those three actors into the animated universe. So.
They did it in the comics.
I think they were going to do that with Doctor Strange Madness into the multiverse. They were going to introduce the multiverse and have like...
Isn't Sam Raimi? He's
yeah.
Oh, he's directing it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And he had that Doctor Strange Easter egg in the second one.
What are the chances that Spider-Verse is actually going to launch a successful Marvel animation campaign? Because they just have not been able to compete with DC ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Animated videos are the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, the story-wise, the animation is top-notch, man.
They had to do the Spider-Verse movie. That's why, that's the only thing fighting anything right now. It's so good.
Well, Spider-Verse was a great movie just because, like I told you guys, it was like fucking watching a comic book, and it fucking blew my mind. Like that shit was beautiful.
I'm pretty sure Adobe shares spiked the second Spider-Verse came out.
The amount of tutorials just to do like a sliver of any kind of animation like that has skyrocketed for sure. I've been spending all my time looking at YouTube, and it's crazy.
Yeah. People, they're just good. They're really good at what they do. But Spider-Verse is an awesome topic. However, let's talk about the top-rated Spider-Man actors. It was trending on Twitter today. That's why I brought it up to you guys.
I didn't know.
And it was just getting a lot, Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, it was just getting a lot of flack for some strange reason. And I always thought that Andrew Garfield was amazing. Personally for me.
What'd you think of Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker?
He's too cool.
I don't think he's too cool. I think he was too
too sexy.
Modern?
Right?
No way. Too cool is the wrong word because he definitely wasn't cool in the movie. He had style.
He had style. Yeah, he had style.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He just seemed like an everyman. He didn't seem like he's just being angsty. Like he could have done all right if he wasn't getting picked on by Flash. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's just because of what I look like, but I felt like he was a really easy person to insert. Like you're like, oh, I could see like that being me because he wasn't too popular or too nerdy.
He was just handsome. That's why he saw like yourself.
Demographic.
Do you think that's why they said his Peter Parker was too cool? Because he wasn't like froggy looking like Tobey Maguire, and he wasn't really nerdy.
I think they compared it. Yeah, I think what happened was they compared him too much to how Tobey Maguire's one was, and then that set the standard of how Spider-Man should be. Spider-Man / Peter Parker should be in general, like in the cinema, the cinematic universe. You know, I feel like that's why people don't like him as much. It's because they compared him to something else. I like 2002. Oh, Amazing Spider-Man came out in like 2012, dude.
12.
Yeah, because I remember it was like shortly it was maybe a year or two after I started reading comics that I was watching that. And the later run of like Amazing Spider-Man, I don't know if you guys know, it's like 600 comics, but I started reading in the like really late numbers, and Peter Parker was already like done with high school and stuff, and he was like, I don't know if he was in college. He was like kind of in college, but he was like successful, and like so I wasn't seeing him as a nerd anyway when I was reading those comics. So that was kind of weird for me because I was like, I mean, he's not really a nerd in later comics. He's pretty. He fucks a lot.
Was Spider-Man the original Spider-Man 1? Were they in high school?
They were in high school.
They were.
No. Yeah, he was a senior because they graduated in the movie.
I remember he was chasing the bus down. And that
was yeah.
Yeah, then he punches the kid. He punches Flash in the chest.
Yeah, they had to fight in the.
He didn't break his ribs in the.
I know. I was gonna say he did concave his fucking chest, right?
Flash in that one.
What's his face? Joe Magliano. He was Deathstroke in the Justice League movie.
He did like the slow mo, like they were showing his spider.
That's the same guy that played Flash.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Fun fact.
Holy shit! Yeah, fun fact. Oh damn. Okay, well, I pulled up this this fucking website that lists the top. This is top Spider-Man, like even like it includes the animated one. So
they're at the bottom of the list anyway. So
well, the bottom. I'm just gonna start from the bottom. It's the animated one, Drake Bell.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right.
Drake Bell.
You're starting from number 1, right?
No, this is 7. This is top 7.
You just said Drake Bell. That's gotta be the order we're going.
Wasn't Neil Patrick Harris Spider-Man at one point?
Yes, yes, yeah, he was.
Oh,
he
was
was.
animated.
He was like,
it was like in like 2003, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The animated series, yeah.
Style.
And it like on a sad note too.
Yeah, I don't know much about Drake Bell's Spider-Man to be like, oh yeah, he's really good. You know, I don't know if you guys watched it.
I watched a couple episodes because I was a fan of Drake and Josh, and I was like, let's see how the humor translates.
It's really corny.
We can edit that out later. Don't worry.
It's not good.
But they had like some Disney actors. The guy who plays Ron Stoppable played Deadpool.
That was good. The Deadpool episode of that show was good.
Oh, what was his name?
Will Darwin. Did you really just use Kim Possible to describe the greatest older brother from Boy in the World? You fuck.
I didn't know his name.
God.
It's so long.
Will Friedle.
Yeah, I'm not a cross.
Number 6 is Chris Pine.
Peter A. Parker.
Peter A. Parker.
Oh, that's right.
From Spider-Verse.
He's number 6?
He's number 6 in that short amount of time. That
How is he one of the worst?
He died.
Oh, this is the best.
Oh.
Best, yeah. I enjoyed like that small amount of time that we saw him in Spider-Verse. You know,
he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll teach you everything, kid. He's like, run."
This one's from the game. I don't know how to say his last name, but Yuri Lowenthal.
Yuri Lowenthal. He's a good
Lowenthal.
Which one was that one?
He was from the new Spider-Man game. Did you guys play that? Did any of you guys play that?
Spider-Man. Yeah, the new Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, when you guys went to my house and we did the little "What's up, Danger?" We did that.
Hello, Danger. That's the right one, right?
Josh, did you play that game?
Yeah, I bought it, and then Rob would come over and play it all the time.
And I moved in and played all the time.
Yo, that game was fantastic. No, I feel like he was good too. Number 4 is Jake Johnson. Peter B. Parker. Peter B. Parker.
I really liked him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I like Fat Spider-Man.
You like what?
I like Fat Spider-Man. Right? That's him, right?
Yeah.
The oddly shaped Spider-Man.
I feel like he was more realistic. Like, he was very experienced. Like, even though he was fat, he got away with a lot of stuff because he was experienced.
Okay, but the top 3.
I can't find it. Sorry.
First, I want to look at Arwen's poll.
Oh yeah, show me. I did not check that.
Okay, so Arwen.
Bro, there were so many Tobey Maguires. It was
There's
high.
so many freaking. Oh my gosh.
I think Tom Holland won, but I could be wrong. I didn't check in a while.
Let's see.
I was so good if Tom Holland didn't suck. I was so mad.
That he was actually good.
Yeah, like I was like, maybe he'll just suck so much they'll bring back Garfield. It'll be a marketing disaster, but at least we'll get him back.
No, they made sure they toned him for it.
Tobey Maguire, out of 24 votes, Tobey Maguire, 29.2%. Andrew Garfield, 16.7%, and Tom Holland, 54.2%.
Wow, what the fuck? I follow a lot of girls. Nah, I'm just playing.
So Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man, is number 3, ranked number 3. Let's talk about Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So earlier you guys said that he was he had too much style, or he was too cool. Can you guys elaborate on that? Can you compare that to like the comics and stuff?
I think when he was in high school, Peter Parker was more like, it showed that he was like picked on and stuff like that, But then, like I get the style thing because like it wasn't like he was like a bad looking dude. Like he didn't have like, like compared to like Toby, where Toby was like really awkward.
Yeah, he was.
That's why it's like for me, I was like, yeah, he was just really awkward. Like he was like the perfect Peter Parker, but Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man for me. I think just because the quips and like the writing was really good. Like I thought that was like perfect. It was just, yeah, okay. Because then we can get into like the whole plot of like those movies.
Right, so I'm curious. Are you guys ranking your Spider-Man and your Peter Parker the same? Because I would.
No.
They're separate. Yeah.
Personally, Tom Holland probably the best Peter Parker. And then I'm still leaning towards Andrew Garfield as actually Spider-Man.
I think if I'm ranking Spider-Man and Peter Parker's together, I think Tom Holland is the best equally for both parts.
Yeah.
I think he played Spider-Man well and Peter Parker well in the same movie. I do agree. So I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man standalone, if it was like just him as Spider-Man, he'd probably be the best Spider person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think his Peter Parker in the movie was so much of a everyman. Like he didn't seem like he had Flash that picked on him, but he didn't seem like he was too much of a outcast or a nerd. He didn't seem like he was too much of like it didn't seem like there was a lot of conflict as Peter Parker. So when I saw him, like in Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, he was getting picked on by like a lot of people, ostracized a lot, generally awkward. So that when you saw him switch into the Spider-Man role, there was like a big contrast between the two. And I think that's important for Spider-Man. Like when he puts on the mask, he becomes like this bigger thing. And you felt that with both Tom Holland, I feel like, and Tobey Maguire, but I didn't feel that kind of jump from Peter Parker to Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It was just a running, continuous cool guy.
Yeah.
Talking about it now, like it. I remember seeing that like in the movies, like just how that was, and I do agree with that. There was no clear difference between when he was Spider-Man or when he was Peter Parker. I mean, there were times like in the first Amazing Spider-Man when he talked to Dr. Connors in his house. He had the glasses on. He was being that's when I could kind of like think, oh yeah, this guy is also Peter Parker. He's not just Spider-Man, because he was like doing all these formulas and like, oh yeah, Dr. Connors, blah 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 blah. But that's a really good point, that there wasn't really a clear difference between when he was Spider-Man and when he was Peter Parker, because it was like the same one long continuous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys notice though, the Garfield Spider-Man was the first time they were really about taking off the mask, and they were more about acting as Spider-Man? Because there was a lot of scenes in the Andrew Garfield ones where he's just like laying in the sewers on like a spider web talking or something with no mask on. Because I remember thinking it was really weird at first, like, why is this dude, because you can't act with a mask on, like you're not really acting, you're a voice actor then. And so it only made sense to transition to then go to another, trained, really, really well done actor with Tom Holland, who never went, like his mask is always off too.
Yeah.
Really good point. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire never really had to act as Spider-Man. There was like that one scene where he's holding the
ugly cry.
Oh my god! His freaking quadruple chin over there, dude. Oh god.
Even when he's
You
making
know what I liked about that though?
Acting.
Like when they kept Toby's mask on. If you remember the first fight with the fight with the Green Goblin in the first movie, when his mask got shattered. I think that made it super more powerful, because you didn't see his face a lot during the movie. That when his mask was like blown off, it was like super cool. I thought it was cooler than
this is
Spider-Man.
This is like life or death type.
Do you think it
deal
helped Tom Holland that his eyes emote more in the mask? Because like with the first two, there was just like him talking, right? But the Spider-Man mask itself was stationary. Tom Holland's Spider-Man, his eyes move; they like gesticulate, so it like shows more emotion when he.
I can see that. I didn't really know.
Do you think that helps him more? Translate better as Spider-Man, because he can make faces, quote unquote faces, with his eyes. So like when in the Civil War scene when Ant-Man blew up to Giant Man, and they showed that.
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay.
Oh, he's like, holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, they showed that reaction of him, and his eyes got big in the mask. So
I think it does help. The moving eyes and all that kind of stuff. I think it does help. I think that because they were able to add that kind of dynamic, it does give another level to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Which I think it's great, because it was hard to see emotion from like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, just because of that fact, it was something new, and it was something I thought that really added to the whole dynamic of the Spider-Man being on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. You can tell too, like, I feel like Andrew Garfield was the shift, like, because it came out, a year or two after Avengers? Like, you see more of a shift with Avengers and stuff after, he starts taking off the mask. Like, they're not looking to be superhero movies. The 2011-12 timeframe, they were more looking for that. They were building their universe and building it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man wasn't part of it yet.
Yeah, you're talking like secret identity type stuff, right?
Well, it was just
building the universe.
The movie was just a summer hit. Like, it was just a blockbuster to go see on the summer. Now they're actually trying to make it like in depth, like with layers. And they're spending a lot more time on the actual story and developing all of it into this bigger Marvel cinematic universe. And they weren't thinking that way when they were making the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Is that why they put all those villains in all those movies? That's so much villains in those two movies.
Okay, so I guess we just rate it. Not just Andrew Garfield, just generally. Out of 10, both Spider-Man and Peter Parker, what would you rate them out of 10?
Combined score?
It's got to be combined, because Peter Parker and Spider-Man, they're the same person. Regardless if one actor is better at acting as Spider-Man or Peter Parker, they're both the same people. 7?
I give him a solid 6.
For Andrew?
For Andrew, yeah.
7.
I think I'd give him a 7 as well. Yeah, I guess just summarize, he was really good. He was funny. I think it's the quips that got me, because I never saw.
Yeah.
I saw some of that in Tobey. Okay, well, I mean, kind of off topic, not really, but I kind of saw that in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but I didn't laugh as much as I did when I was watching Andrew Garfield. Like, oh shit, the knife guy, the fucking knife guy.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
That shit was so funny.
My weakness.
Yeah, that,
All
oh,
knives.
tiny knives. It was fucking
That
great.
was good.
All right.
You know how I see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man? I think he's like the golden age of Marvel Comics. You know, like the 1960s Spider-Man, where his quips aren't really quips. They're kind of just like, ha ha ha, I'm Spider-Man. This is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really land well.
The budget.
That's why he was
A lot
awkward.
more.
He was so good.
What?
Wait, that's what we need to look up. What was the budget for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1 versus Homecoming?
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Oh, bro, no.
Okay.
Like,
well,
That
no.
will explain some of the quips.
Yeah, dude.
so
dude.
budget between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yeah. I think Spider-Man Homecoming blows that shit out of the water.
Spider-Man 1 was $139 million.
What was Homecoming?
Homecoming was
It'd be more impressive if they did under budget.
175 million. Oh, it wasn't even that much of a difference between like what I would have expected. 175.
Far
makes a
from, Far From
difference.
Home was 160 million.
Difference, though.
Yeah.
How much was Andrew Garfield?
Spider-Man 3 was 258 million. Holy crap.
Damn,
Oh,
why
that
was it
went
like
to
that? Though?
Venom.
Emma Stone was pretty big then.
Spider-Man 3 was.
I like New Goblin
Dude.
a lot.
So the Amazing Spider-Man had
Holy
a $230 million budget.
And there's your quips.
That's your quiz.
The clips.
That's what they were looking for.
They were just so under budget. When they were like, we have to add more. We have to add more. They were like, let's put Goblin. All right,
That's
Gwen Stacy.
That's
All
funny.
right, who else?
That's
who else
funny.
can we put? Electro.
Tobey Maguire,
Legend.
the quote unquote golden boy of the Spider-Man. No, I don't
Okay, wait,
know.
no.
You know,
So, I think fight scenes though for those movies were amazing.
you mean the thing
Except-
Tobey Maguire definitely wasn't doing?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, but it was really good. I mean, like, it was just looking back at it now, like, because I was watching this video about like how Spider-Man 1 and 2 were like really, really awful, and then he just points out like a lot of things, like, wait, so how Green Goblin like threw like bombs at the balcony, and like those guys turned into skeletons, but Mary Jane was fine, and then like. It was just a lot of stuff. And then, like, he, throughout the video, he just shows how awkward Toby is. It's just so funny. It's like, oh, his crying face. Oh, God.
I think. Oh, okay. Hold on. We have to talk. We have to talk about. I know this is kind of jumping the gun, but Spider-Man 3, that
Terrible.
walking scene.
It's a time.
That yes, and I'm glad they brought it up in Spider-Verse, and they made fun of themselves for doing it.
That's good, yeah. That's good. You should do that.
They acknowledge their mistakes, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't really talk about it," but there's a ton of people who talk about it.
It's so
Spider-Man 2, in my opinion, is probably the best. I think, in my opinion, it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Doc Ock?
Doc Ock.
Yeah, that whole movie
Yeah,
it
because
was gorgeous. The story was really good. Like, I think it was prime.
Well, let's talk about Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man and as Peter Parker. You guys mentioned that. Oh yeah, he was the best Peter Parker, and I can totally see that. But what are you guys just like? What did you like about him? What didn't you like about him?
It's crying.
I liked Toby in a lot of ways. But again, no nostalgia, so I can't say that.
No nostalgia.
for all of Tobey Maguire's shortcomings, at least like Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland could look at him as an example, and they could take, how people
Oh yeah.
and be like, oh, they didn't receive. Like, I mean, he was such a fucking loser, and then we get Andrew Garfield, who's not. And I'm like, so I feel like it was reactionary, a lot of things, and and that's because of Tobey Maguire. Like he set the stage for everyone. But I mean, did you guys really watch any big superhero movies before Spider-Man?
I want to say no.
Yeah.
If
I wanna say no.
Blade.
I watched Blades. I watched all 3 Blades. I watched the. Do you remember the Phantom? You guys remember
Daredevil,
that
Ben
movie?
Affleck. Which one are you talking about, Rob?
The Phantom. It's with Billy Zane. He's like dressed up in purple. He has this diamond domino mask on. It's like back in the 90s.
So.
I used to watch a lot of before maybe like 2012 came. I was into a lot of comics and a lot of comic book movies. I watched a bunch. I watched The Lone Ranger, the old serials with my dad, and then I watched the remake
Green
of
Hornet.
Armie Hammer, the Green Hornet with Bruce Lee. I watched a lot. But I think when I look at Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he kind of reminds me of those superheroes. It's like very old school. You think that movie was made in like early 2000s. They probably filmed it in 1999 kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, because the first
I feel like
Spider-Man
it's
came
old.
out in like 2001, I think.
Like 02 at the latest, 02 or 03.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
it was,
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right.
it still came out on like on VHS. This is an old
Monster
movie.
Man Randy Savage was in it.
Bonesaw.
Nobody-
I mean, I think if I'm ranking Tobey Maguire without nostalgia, I think he was average. He's good for what the movie called for, but he wasn't necessarily like nothing stuck out the most.
Yeah, I don't think when people say that he's the best Spider-Man, I can't see it. And I know that's gonna like fucking piss off a lot of people. I can't see it. Yeah, I've watched the movie. They're really good movies, but when I think of Tobey Maguire, I don't think that he's Spider-Man.
I think he
You know?
set the blueprint. You know,
I think.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, they had to start somewhere.
I'm a little off topic, so go ahead.
Oh, well, I mean, they had to start somewhere. So, like, yeah, like I agree with what everyone's saying. Just like, he's not the best.
You know who doesn't get enough hate, in my opinion, from the early Spider-Man movies is Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, yeah, because he's forgettable.
Like she had red hair. That's all she provided. There was nothing there.
The rain scene, the kiss scene.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of
Yeah.
parodies of that.
A lot of parodies of that. Okay, so I mean, I guess Tobey Maguire wasn't the best, wasn't the greatest. Still Spider-Man. What would you rate him out of 10?
6.
I gotta give him like a 5 for me. I don't know.
He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad.
I'm giving him 4 because I refuse to give him 5.
Rob, what did you give him?
The 5.
5. Okay, yeah.
He's
All
average.
right. Now, Tom Holland, Spider-Man. He is number 1.
like
He
him
is
at
number 1
first.
on this list. He is number 1.
You know what I don't like about him? His voice is super whiny sometimes.
He
It
cries a
sounds
lot.
like he's trying really hard.
Jordan brought up that point when he cried a lot, and I didn't realize it until he said something. I was like, "Holy
Think
shit!"
about it, yeah.
He cries a lot. He almost
hold on,
cried
hold on.
in Homecoming.
When
Almost.
did he almost cry in Homecoming?
When
When he's under the rubble,
yeah,
he cried.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Best scene.
Oh, yeah, he did.
The
Yeah.
best scene in the whole Marvel universe is him crying as he gets.
Snapped
That
away.
was-
That was beautiful, by the way. When he was like, "I'm scared," I was like, "Oh yeah, that was fucking beautiful."
You
I
should
think
be.
that time and then the time he was under the rubble was perfect times for him to cry.
I can't imagine Tobey Maguire playing off that scene. I could not fucking imagine.
No way.
Mr. Tony, Mr. Stark. I don't want to cry. Like,
He's in high
His face
school.
would be like this.
It's cold.
Speaking of Tobey Maguire
yelling.
crying, dude, it's the third movie when Harry was dying. That took me out of the movie completely. Like it was already a bad movie when I saw him cry. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
And it took me out.
yeah.
I do think Tom Holland cries, but I think his voice gets whiny. Far From Home, when he was talking to Happy in the plane, he sounded like a whiny kid, and I was so mad.
Was that towards the end when he was talking?
Yeah,
no.
He, like it's after Mysterio wrecked him with the train, and then he finally.
Oh, yeah.
Happy, is that you?
How old is he?
Tom Holland is like 20. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
sorry.
really young,
what
dude.
grade was he in the movie?
I think he's like in
Senior.
10th grade, 9th or 10th grade.
No, I think he's like a junior, dude.
Really?
Junior.
Sophomore
Yeah, by a
was
train,
sophomore
man.
was homecoming.
Yeah, by train.
Yeah, it was because they did the homecoming dance sophomore year.
Yep.
So that would have he was a junior.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So he's a junior in this one, or in Far From Home, which is a great movie. Fucking great movie.
Dude, that was probably the best live action.
Yeah, Far From Home was
I don't know, like what, maybe Winter Soldier, like what's going over that? Like we're looking at the Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. That's for another podcast.
That's
but
too much.
yeah, but I mean, for like Tom Holland, what did you guys like? I mean, yeah, what did you guys like about Tom Holland, both as Peter Parker and Spider-Man?
He's a good balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he had a good balance for both.
Yeah,
I-
he's in high school too.
Yeah, I think where people rank him as the Spider-Man and Peter Parker, I think he's right where he should be, personally for me. Because it's just like Armin said, he was a really good mix. He was like, he was
Quirky.
yeah. One of the things that didn't really hit home for me was his quips. Some of them were really funny. Yeah, some of them were really funny. Some of them were just like, where's the budget?
Where's the budget?
The more, I think also the more you make jokes, the more misses you're gonna have. So they have to overload you with jokes if you want.
He's in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you were to like put that into consideration, I think that's another like a level of when you're trying to analyze all three Spider-Man, like how old they were, the time or the time of the age that they became Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff, because it's different maturity levels, obviously, for all of that.
Spider-Man was younger, just like every Aunt May was younger.
You know what's crazy? I think Tom Holland fits his character in his movie the best too. I think Tobey Maguire was like 24, 25 when he played the senior in high school.
Yeah.
He was in high
And then Andrew Garfield was around the same age when he played the senior in high school.
That's
So
a
when I was
grown-ass
watching,
man.
like it wasn't like there was no disconnect. So when he was talking, it seemed like a grown man
Yeah.
dressed as a high schooler
Yeah.
talking like what he thinks a high schooler is. I think Tom Holland nailed that a lot better, just because
You
he's so
think
much closer in the age.
How long are we gonna have Tom Holland for?
If Sony has anything to say, 2 more movies.
Yeah.
Really young looking. Like they could drag out his high school thing for a lot longer if they want to.
Disney gonna buy it. Disney, nah,
I feel like that's eventually gonna happen, dude. I mean, they bought out Fox. Oh, okay. Another podcast. Another podcast. That's another podcast. I think Tom Holland as Spider-Man and Peter Parker, it was a really good mix. I think he had the best of both worlds. Like taking inspiration from both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I think that put him in a really good position to be where he is on this fucking list. He's number one according to other people. He's number one.
Yeah, the support. I think the supporting characters definitely help. I mean, definitely like affect rankings too for me.
Let's go to IMDb and look at who's starring in the latest Spider-Man movie versus who is starring in Tobey Maguire's number one. And fucking cast, holy shit. It's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Side note, another casting thing. I think we could talk about it because there's not much options to choose from. Zendaya as not Mary Jane MJ.
Oh.
How do you guys feel about that?
I like little twists like that.
I didn't.
I don't know where they're going with it.
Yeah, I feel like if there is something that is to happen with that, for me, I haven't caught it yet. I don't mind it per se, but if it leads to somewhere that isn't remotely interesting to me, I think that was a bad move. But I guess for me, I'll just have to see. I don't know.
Yeah. So you gotta wait.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 2 more movies, so maybe that happens.
I kind of thought they were gonna make her gay. I don't know why. I just figured.
They'll do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Maybe Adam Warlock's gonna be gay.
Oh, Adam Warlock, which they teased in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and just never mentioned him ever again. Well, what would you rate Tom Holland?
Oh, that's 9. I don't see the next guy doing. There's still room, I would imagine, for that 10, and I don't want to give him the 10.
Yeah,
He's solid now.
I think he's an 8 for me.
I'll give him a hefty 8. 8 going to 9.
Yeah.
It's the whining that gets me, the voice.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't bother me as much as everyone else, but I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I kind of just write it off to him being in high school, and so it's like.
Arvin, what would you rate him?
8. I gotta see his character development. Because it's going to 9, but it's just like with the supporting cast and like everything else, it's just like I kind of want to see more with what they're doing with that.
Yeah.
But it's like a slow build, like how all Marvel movies are now. So
yeah.
Good though.
So I guess for like all 3 of us, that's number 3 as Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield as number 2, and Tom Holland number 1.
They get better every time.
Yeah.
And the real number 1, Miles Morales.
Oh, that is Spider-Verse fucking amazing. Oh my gosh. Shamik Moore.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
If they don't do a What's Up Danger scene in the live action, like Miles Morales movie, I'm going to get upset. I'm going to throw a whole movie theater away. I'll be so mad.
My eyes actually started watering. I was like,
Yeah, that was good.
When Miles was tied up and his dad was talking to him through the thing.
Yeah.
that is probably my favorite.
He was like, I see this spark in you. I was like, yeah, spark. You see a spark in him?
So dramatic. I love it.
I think they cast incredible people in those roles in the Spider-Verse too. Like each person hit their mark as the roles they were.
Yeah. Even the Gwen Stacy was really good. The Noir Spider-Man was fucking
Nick Cage.
Yeah, he was really good. I really liked him.
Let's just wait till a match goes to the tip of your fingers just so you can feel something.
Feel something?
Oh my god, I was like, what the fuck? This is a kid's movie.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Spider-Man was great.
I think I'm actually going to watch that. As soon as we're done with this, I'm going to go watch Into the Spider-Verse.
It's on Netflix, yeah.
I've watched it like 3 times.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Dude, one of my most favorite scenes from that movie, it is like, it was after, the Prowler died, blah, blah, blah. But it was when Peter Parker was talking to Miles, and he was like trying to, like, bring out, his powers. He's like, Venom struck me right now, or turn invisible on command. I was like, and she was like really trying. Oh man!
No,
and
when he was getting his ass mobbed.
Yes.
No. When he was in the dorm room, that's when he was.
Yeah, when he was in the dorm room.
Yeah,
because he was trying to like, prove to me that you can do it and you can come, But it's like he just wasn't there yet,
You know what? What made that hit was all of the spider people were outside, like waiting for Miles.
Oh yeah,
like, they were ready. He didn't do it, and they all looked so disappointed.
I know.
There was so much character development in that movie.
In such a short amount of time, dude. What the fuck?
There was character development from Miles Morales as a kid. And then there was character development from the other Spider-Man. Like, as they're both becoming better people the whole time. I was just like, oh, yeah, they're doing it. That's so bad.
I like how they
I
like how they had like all the little origin clips. Like, all right, let's start.
Oh, the origin, yeah, the fucking origin clips are so good, dude.
For me, it was like a parody of how Marvel movies like build their characters, but they had to do it like in one movie. Like if like the other Spider-Man movies were like that, like it could have worked. Like this is how you do it. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
Rob, what were you saying?
No, as whoever was making the creative decisions for that movie, like when Miles and Peter B. Parker were running out of office and threw the bagel, and it's like such a small detail when the bagel hit the scientist in the head. The word that popped up was bagel. Like just like small little details that were so clever that if you watch it again, it's like really, really, really smart, really funny too. I don't know, man. That movie's probably one of the best movies of the decade.
Yeah. Oh, hands down, dude. Hands down. That was.
Writers or what the hell happened? It wasn't even just the story. It was everything.
There was something that I saw. It was like the same people who made Spider-Verse made the Emoji Movie not too long ago.
Is that the same writers and like directors and stuff?
It was. I mean, I don't know if it's the same writers or directors, but I know that it was both Sony. So
they just did it as a challenge. It's like, hey, what's a hard movie to make? Make a movie about emojis. Bet. So weird.
Oh man.
All right. Well, okay. So that was our Spider people talk. That was fun.
Nice.
That was fun.
Nice. Progressive.
We need to talk about this more. We have fucking time. We can do this. We can do this. I think.
Good.
All right. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll be back with more of your comic book Marvel DC movie needs. I don't know how to end it. Podcast Boys, let's go.
Podcast Boys.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.